Hello, 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 and welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Before I dive into this topic, I am going to wait just a few moments here to make sure everything is being heard okay. You know how it goes with technical difficulties and things. I don't want to get too much into this before I've established that everything is working the way that it should. This is one of those topics that I believe needs to be brought up from time to time because there is a massive amount of deception on the planet today. We all know it. There's been an old switcheroo done on us, and some of us don't know about it. Of course, if you know, wonderful. But trust and believe that the majority of the younger generation, they don't have a clue. That is what saddens me. They absolutely do not have a clue as to what's going on. They believe that all is well and that the world is just going on as it should. This is what our young people believe. They've been sold a bill of goods, but those of us who have the platform to do so need to make sure that we are setting the record straight. It's our job to set the record straight about ancient history. Okay, hold on one second. I want to share this on our other ministry channel, and I would ask that you all share it as well. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Good afternoon on this lovely, lovely day. This is the day the Most High has made, and we are going to rejoice and be glad in it. At the same time, we're going to tell the truth. We're going to put the truth out there because it needs to be known. And for all of you folk that will look at this video and say, well, what difference does it make? It makes a whole lot of difference. It makes a whole lot of difference, especially when we are just bombarded with images that do not depict the reality of the ancient people. Right? Whenever we see a movie about Egypt, do we ever see those folk that you see on the screen, those hieroglyphs? Huh? Yes. Ancient, thank you to Chasmel. Dr. Clyde Winters has written many books on ancient black cultures and greatness. But see, ain't no way those are going to find their way into any public school system. Since they're not going to find their way into the public school system, it is our jobs to educate our children. But see, we send them there so they can learn about everybody else's history but ours. And the little bit that they do give us is just a handful of folk. You know, they tell us about Martin Luther King, maybe Sojourner Truth, possibly Harriet Tubman. But, this stuff right here, you can forget it. You're going to get a watered down, washed out, rubbed up lie. Okay, it's time to bounce you out of the chat. Until my moderators arrive, I got to do some bouncing myself. Hide that user from channel. Ain't nobody trying to go to your sick websites. Okay. So anyway, let's get into this. The big question of the day, in which most of you know the answer, but guess what? Some people don't. Some people really don't know. Was ancient Egypt a black land or a white land? That is the question. Was ancient Egypt a black land or a white land? Now, we covered this in the Whited Out documentary series. There were some brothers who actually went to Egypt, and they did a lot of filming, and they did some photography, and they had uploaded a lot of what they saw online. They put it in a video. I can't remember the name of it, but if you look up Ancient Egypt was a Black Land, you might pull it up here on YouTube. They have some really snazzy music with it as well. Okay. But anyway, check this out. Even though the brother who put that video out, they went to Egypt. Okay, brother Nai Lante says he was just in Egypt a month ago. And he says, there's no denying what color the people were. It's depicted on all of the walls of the temples and structures. I took plenty of pictures. Hey, brother, if you don't mind sharing those pictures, I would very much appreciate it. So anyway, there was a brother years ago who did just that. And he put the images out here on YouTube. Now, get this. It is his belief that we are descendants of the ancient Egyptians. Okay. But, I told him we didn't believe that. We believe that we are from the 12 tribes of Israel. Right. But guess what? We went back and forth about that thing. But one thing the brother did not do. The brother did not shut us down because we didn't have the same beliefs. Right. So when we approached him and asked him to use some of his images in the Whited Out documentary series, he says, I appreciate the dialogue that I've had with both you and your husband concerning our cultures, even though we don't agree with who we are, where we descend from. He said it was a very respectful exchange. And I trust and believe that you all are going to use the images that we've taken in a very respectful manner. And that we did, you see. But despite all of the proof of who the ancient people were, all of the images on the wall, Hollywood still, y'all hear what I'm saying? Hollywood still decided to change it up. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? They still decided that they were going to give us some alternative images. They still decided that they were going to keep the lie alive. But see, the younger generations, they need someone to say, wait a minute, here's the truth. And the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Because when you control the media, when you control the industry, you can have people believing whatever you want them to believe. Now, check this out. They said that they have some people that go over there and try to preserve the images and keep everything clean. These people were strategically chipping away paint. You see, just like they did the noses. You see how they chipped away the noses of those big statues because they wanted to. You got to be a miserable person to try to destroy ancient things just to create a lie. We know who the father of all lies is, right? Just to create a lie, just to create that type of deception, you're willing to destroy ancient history. Nonetheless, the proof is still there on the walls. Look at that. Look at this. These are black people. So I'm going to show y'all some more images, by the way. That's right. All of this is biblical, T. That's right. All of this is biblical. This deception runs deep. These people are doing exactly what they want to do because the truth is just too much for them to bear. They can't bear the truth. The truth tells the truth about them, right? The truth tells the truth about them. Okay. To Brother Nilante, concerning the images, contact at watchmanreports with an S.com. That's contact at watchmanreports.com or contact at blackeducationtv.com. I appreciate that, brother. And just so you all know, Black Education TV is coming back, but this time on Rumble, right? I'm going to be rumbling, y'all. The channel is already established. I'll share the link with you. It's fairly new, so I'm not sure how things go over there if you can search it by channel. So I'll share the link eventually. But yeah, we're going to be rumbling over there. Yes, we will. We will be rumbling over there because, yes, there are some things that you just can't say everything on YouTube, but you can rumble it though. That's for sure. Okay. All right, so here are some of the images I'm going to be sharing with you. Let's check this out, family. So you can very clearly see. Okay, Sister Christina says, let's get ready to rumble. Yes, that's right. That's right. Certain truths, again, folk don't want to see nor hear. So you got to go elsewhere with the truth. Of course, the truth remains over here too, but you got to censor yourself. You all know I censor myself all the time because they will do it for you if you don't, right? So over there, they have a no censor policy. So I can go over there and I can let loose, so to speak. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, so yeah, Black Education TV is coming back. Now, just so you know, to Powerful Majesty, Black Education TV is what this channel used to be called years ago, many years ago, and we changed the name. That's separate from our homeschooling website. That's the Black Academy Institute. That can be accessed at theblackacademy.com, or you can access it also through chalkboardlessons.org or 12tribesacademy.org. But that's different from Black Education TV. Black Education TV is when I was talking about, some historical things. As a matter of fact, one of the very first videos I did was called Say No to Black History. Say no to Black history, right? Of course, it was done in complete sarcasm. Initially, it went right over a lot of people's heads. It went over their heads. But when they understood what was going on, they were like, wow. You see? Okay. So someone says Egypt had the first set of brown people. So Egypt was a black land, y'all. Very clearly it was. It was. Now, T says, I can't wait to make sure you have your teacup. The teacup got chipped, but I did get another one. So I have a different teacup. I gotta keep that one safe because, I've broken dishes before, but children sometimes they drop and say, Mommy, your cup is broke. I'm like, okay, that nice cup is broke, huh? Okay, so I got to keep this next one out of their hands and deal with it myself. I can deal with it better if I break something than if somebody else breaks it because I'm usually careful with things. But anyway, I'm going way off topic. I want y'all to look at these images. That's what I wanted to talk about. These images are very clearly black people, dark people, Egyptians. That was a black culture. For those of you who don't know, there were black cultures all around the world. Okay, someone says, can one of your moderators put it in the chat, Black Education? I'll probably do a separate video because I would have to log into it as well. And I don't want to break away from this chat right here to do that. So the moderators don't know where the channel is at this moment either. So I will definitely do that in the coming days, the Most High willing, of course. But look at these people. A lot of our young people don't know that there were black cultures. They think everything started in slavery here. They don't know about what happened. Look at these two on the screen right here. Look. Okay, King Tut and his mom. They have made new images of King Tut and his mom, Queen Tai, and all of these other people, and they basically whited them out. And they are passing out these new reconstructed images to say that these folk were white people. Why do that when the walls speak for themselves? I wouldn't even feel right trying to do no stuff like that. You see, why try to create such a deception when they look at this image? Look at these images. These are very, very clearly black people. Someone says Ms. Lena says she remembers a movie with Elizabeth Taylor where they tried to pass her off as a black Egyptian. Yeah, I believe it was Cleopatra, was it? And so, come on now, y'all. Come on now. I guess some people don't mind deception. They don't mind it. But they pass it around. Just like Ray Towns said, these walls are talking. Yes, they are. These walls are talking. They're saying, no, this is what we look like here. This is what we look like, right? But what you all see in the movies, you grow up with that and that's what you think. Think about the cartoon. Listen to this for a minute, y'all. Think about every black child that has seen the Prince of Egypt. Okay? The Prince of Egypt. They think that that's what the people look like. Now, Nilante, who recently went to, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, brother. He just recently went to Egypt. He says he went to the Cairo Museum and saw King Tut's golden sarcophagus, and it was amazing. And so, everyone that I've talked to or seen or come in contact with that has gone to Egypt, they tell the true story. See, you could go over there and verify this stuff, but yet and still, they know the majority of the population can't and won't go over there. That's right, Yahweh's treasure. The walls are screaming, right? They know that most people can't go over there, so they say, you know what? Since we know how to reach a massive audience of millions and millions of people, we are going to put our rendition of the Egyptians. You would think that if someone is going to do a movie that they would show some of the ancient stuff, but no, they put all new stuff for you. Greta Lee says they were at the Cairo Museum and Nubia Museum and can verify this woman is telling the truth. Thank you very much. I haven't been there, but like the brother who let us use his imagery in the Whited Out documentary series, he took a ton of pictures and video, and he allowed us to use the actual video. And they have an incredible song that they made too, as they displayed these massive images, right? These beautiful images and statues and things. They testify. These are our brothers and sisters who have gone there, and they testify of the truth of what's on these walls. But see, a movie, you can put anything in a movie. You can fly in a movie. Y'all hear what I'm saying? In a movie, you can fly. But in reality, you cannot unless you get on an airplane. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? So in the movies, they can make themselves Superman or Superwoman. In the movies, they can make us whatever they want us to be. They can make themselves whatever they want themselves to be. But when you take the trek around the planet and you go to ancient Egypt and you look on the walls, you go to these museums and you see what the walls are screaming. Like one sister in the chat said, you see the truth of the matter. You see. So the whole world has been deceived about ancient cultures, because one thing that we noted when we were putting together the Whited Out documentary series, I want y'all to understand something. I was very emotional when, we started coming into the knowledge of this truth. Very emotional. I had a vast array of emotions: sadness, gladness, anger, confusion. A whole lot of emotions seeing the truth, y'all. But one thing, I remember one day I was actually in my room sitting at my computer at our previous location many years ago. I was sitting at my computer, and as all of this stuff was rushing into my head, and I began to think about things, I started crying because I said, wait a minute. The Israelites were slaves in Egypt. The Israelites were slaves in Egypt. And I remember I had bought the domain name Back to Egypt. And I said, if they were slaves in Egypt, at the time I was just researching black cultures, period. You see, black cultures, period. And when I looked on the walls of Egypt, I said, there they are, the black slaves. So the slaves in Egypt were black. They were not the people over there in the land of Israel today. When that thought hit my mind, it blew my mind, y'all. I said, everybody's going around talking about who were slaves in Egypt. They're talking about the Ish people were slaves in Egypt. And when I looked at the walls, when I looked at the walls of Egypt and I saw with the true slaves. There was a particular image that actually showed slaves working in Egypt. And I said they were black. That sent a flood of tears. Now, they were clearly different from the Egyptians. The slaves looked totally different from the Egyptians. And that, like I said, it blew my mind. I said, wow, it is true. It is true. And so when you begin to see the truth, the scripture said, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Folk who don't want the truth, people who don't want the truth, they want the strong delusion. That's right, Sister Ray Towns. Yah left a record for Yashrael on the walls. That's exactly how I felt. I said the Most High did not leave himself without a witness. They can throw these movies out here. They can print books. They can do all this stuff. They can say whatever they want to say. But the truth is on the walls, y'all. The Israelite slaves were on the walls of Egypt too. And I noticed too, the images are not as easy to find as they used to be. I noticed there's been a lot of scrubbing of the internet of certain truths. You have to dig and dig and dig. It's a trip. Brother Neelanti says, I went to the Rekmeyer tomb in Luxor, and I also have pics of the Israelites making bricks. Thank you, brother. I didn't know until I came back to the States and saw a video from Beniyah Israel. He mentioned the tomb. So that's the image I saw too, where they were making bricks. I said, those are our people, y'all. That's the thing that really, oh my goodness. That's the thing that grabbed me when I remember that because we were slaves. And see, coming out of Christianity, this stuff was flooding at me so heavy. It was flooding at me so heavy. And I was thinking about everything. I was like, what can we do to connect ourselves to the truth? It was really enlightening. There was one clip that was circulating on YouTube. We had it in the Whited Out documentary series as well. Said something about Imiran. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but they were showing the tour guide actually said that this is an image of Joseph, but they had given him a name. They called him something else in Egyptian tongues, but they said they believed that was an image of Joseph, who was second in command during the time of a particular pharaoh. And I said, man, you have this white, I guess he wasn't a host. Well, I guess he was a host of the show or whatever. He was doing the documentary, but he was actually admitting that this image on the wall, this black image was Joseph of the Bible. Are y'all hearing me? Joseph of the Bible. So the truth is flying out like a flood, y'all. That's why when we did the Whited Out documentary series, starting with part 1, we said we've got to answer every question that we had. We had tons and tons and tons of questions. And so that's what we set out to do when we did the documentary, to answer the questions that we had. The things that we were thinking about. Okay, what's the answer to this? What's the answer to that? Why was this done? Why was that done? If you see how it was documented, it was really done to show the things that have been covered up. Because I had been hearing people say that, the first 2 humans were white. And I said, okay, so where did we come from? Did make sense. So I said, okay, now we got to deal with that topic. So folks started saying, you had a black Adam and a white woman. I said, okay, now that ain't making sense, because we see what mixed children look like. And it's not possible to populate Africa. I said, okay, so back to the drawing board. What's going on here, right? So as we kept digging and digging and digging, as we kept digging, y'all, the things we uncovered answered all the questions that we had. It answered all the questions we had. Now, Rainey Powell said that's why they didn't want us traveling. I remember they used to put such a stigma on going to Africa. Even now, I believe it is. I had mentioned some years ago, we were trying to send some care packages to Africa, to Zimbabwe. There was a sister we were connected with over there. She was telling us of the situation that the people were in. And we were trying to send some care packages. And, you know, because we with our ministry and our business, we typically ship things all over the world, right? And so we didn't think it was going to be any big deal to ship something to Africa. So when we tried to ship these care packages to Africa and we got a shipping quote back, I said, this don't make no cotton picking sense. This doesn't make any cotton picking sense. The care packages we were sending were school supplies, toiletries, toothpaste, soap, toothbrushes, just things like that young people could have used. You know, paper, pencils, pencil sharpeners, just a whole bunch of different items, right? And when they told us it would be $1,800 per box. We were sending 2 boxes. That was at the time, that's all we could afford. But they were 2 big boxes. And they said $1,800. It was either $1,800 or $3,600 or something like that. Y'all, it was a ridiculous amount, but it was per box. It's been some years. So some of you may remember us talking about this before, but it was so ridiculous. I said, man, the stuff in the boxes don't even cost that much. And this is what you all want to ship it? And I said, it seems to me that they just don't want us sending anything to our people over there. Just don't want us sending things. Yeah, like Trudy Shepherd said, blocking the blessings. What we ended up doing, there was a brother that we knew from Haiti, and he had come to a couple of our events. And he lives here in the U.S., but he was going to visit Haiti again, right? And so we had told him about it, and he said that they can use those things in Haiti too. So he said if we can ship it to him, which he was in the U.S., when he goes to Haiti, he could take it with him. And so that's what we ended up doing. But I still thought it was just ridiculous oh my goodness, to get some things over there. I said, this is just ridiculous. You basically, if you want to be a blessing, you have to just do some type of Western Union, I believe, to get donations over there. Western Union, or which was it? It was either Western Union or Trans Union, one of those, whatever they're able to accept over there, you see. But yeah, that was the sense that I got. I said, for it to cost this much, well, we can ship to every other country. It doesn't cost us to ship that much to these other places. And I just really felt bad about that. But Abba Yah, have your way. Nonetheless, have your way. Have your way. Yeah, the system is really tripped out at this point, and there's no hiding it now. And they're not even trying to hide it now. Right now, they're just pretty much saying, you know what? What you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? We control the airwaves. We control the music, the media, the everything, the movies, the commercials, the print media. So we can print whatever we want. We can say whatever we want. We can show whatever we want. We can film whatever we want. And we can make people sing whatever we want. And that's exactly what's happening. And our people are none the wiser. It is our jobs, family, to educate ourselves and to educate our young people. When you know, let each one teach one. This is why we are developing, in my opinion, at warp speed, doing far different and greater than we've ever done before. And we would like to share more of this with you all in the coming weeks and months. But Home education is the thing that needs to be taking place right now. We need to educate our own children because they need to know. The whole, like someone in the chat said earlier, the whole world used to be black. And then the human bloodline was infiltrated. Folk don't want to hear that. The truth is what it is, though. Even science recognizes that. So I'm not saying anything new. Even scientists recognize that there are some that don't have are fully human, some that are not fully human. Discovery magazine, Discover magazine, they actually printed an article that said you are not human. And they were talking about those who had an infiltrated bloodline. You see? So this isn't new information that I'm sharing. The whole planet used to be black. And then something happened. It is what it is. Even some Caucasians will openly talk about these things. I've talked about Jay-Z Knight in the past. She talked about how she was visited by an angelic being. She actually asked the angelic being if it was a demon. And it told her right there in her kitchen, no, I am not a demon. I am an angel. And she began to converse with this thing, and it begins to show her things and all kinds of stuff. She's a white woman, right? Just like Tanya Nelson says, we have everyone else teaching our kids but us. It's time for us to teach them the truth about history. They need to know. A lot of them will be very interested to know true history instead of thinking that our history starts with slavery. Black cultures all around the world, not just the Egyptians or the Israelites. There were black cultures all around the world that had their own lives and own existence before their lands were taken over. The truth is what it is. Before their lands were taken over, they had their own lives, their own cultures, and their own history. The thing is, because some people on this planet have such a tarnished history, such a bad history, they actively create alternative histories, which are basically lies, and put themselves in the picture. Even that was prophesied. The Bible says that the heathen laid open the book of the law, and they thought to change the times, and they put the likeness of their own images. Notice it said the likeness of their own images. The likeness of their images in the place of historical images and historical people. They said, okay, you know what? These ancient Egyptians, they're a little bit too dark for us. So let us get Elizabeth Taylor to play the role. Let us get this person to play the role. Let us get that person. Let's get Charlton Heston to be Moses. Moshe is one of our ancestors. He was a black man, right? Anyway, family, I didn't want to be before you long on this topic. I just wanted to share this with you all. And so much is being taught out here that we definitely have to be sure that we are putting good information out here as well. It is our job to put good and true information. And although I do agree with a lot of people who say that the first inhabitants of the United States of America, before it was even called the United States of America, okay? Before it was called America, it was called something else. But I do agree with those who say that black people were here first. Black people were here in America first. I just don't believe that they were the Israelites. Now, that's nothing to, get hot and bothered about or to be upset and angry at each other about if we don't agree with that. I do agree that they were black people, and I mean straight up black. But I believe that they were from the tribes of Ham. The tribes of Ham. I don't believe that they were from the tribes of Israel or Jacob. So y'all, that is all for now. Thank you for joining me once again. I love you all. And I really do enjoy the time that we spend in the chat. But I do need to get up from here at this point. And until next time, you all stay safe, stay hydrated, take your vitamin C, drink your tea, whatever it is, because there's definitely some things going around. But just keep yourself healthy. And as always, watch, pray, and pay attention. With that, I'm out. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.